in 10 seconds. Guys, take it away with the commentary.
All right, so it's me and Threat. So that's crazy. It's a combination we've been trying to get happen for ages. It's been like a year and a half since we last casted together, and here we are at the FACEIT Stage 1 LAN Finals. Immunity and NiP kicking it off here on Inferno. So already off with the pistol round at the moment. NiP looking to get themselves up Banana, but that pop flash was excellently timed there by Immunity. James does pick up one frag and the information, and they have the grenades to slow down the push of NiP, and Immunity are prepared to deal with this push. They still have 2 players on the side. SnypeR with a nice little pick off as Xizt moves in. A second frag from SnypeR as well, and Rickeh in the back by New Boxes cleans them up. Immunity get the pistol round they needed. Very well done by them.
Yeah, I like the stack from Immunity. They had one guy pushing up Banana. It didn't really matter that if he got picked. He actually got 1 frag as well. And when NiP got the pick, they just thought, okay, it's probably just 1 guy on the site now. Pushed up B site, and there was 2 guys, one on New Boxes. So yeah, it's kind of easy round there for Immunity.
Okay, so Immunity now going to be looking to see what they can get done on the anti-eco. No bomb plant there for NiP, so they would probably be expecting some pistol armor shenanigans. And, well, NiP sticking to the close ranges at the moment, slowly making their way up apartments, slowly making their way up middle. We can see just the Tech 9s coming out to play. This could get dangerous right now. Immunity need a clean result in this one. Build up that cash, and P90 at work from emagine there. Get Right is going to be able to take down 2 players on the entry, and NiP are up onto the bomb site. That bomb should be able to go down any second now. Rickeh desperately trying to stop it from happening, but they are doing so much damage at the moment. The MP7 coming in from SnypeR as he tries to synchronize the push with James, but
they should save. They should really save now.
They want to go for it. I mean, they are a little bit low on NiP's side, but
yeah, they had no kit as well, and I mean, that would just looked way too easy for NiP. They just did a 4-man push on short. Nothing fancy, just knew they had those techs, and no problem for NiP. They just rolled them over.
Feels like one of those spots where you're kind of stubborn a little bit, where it's like, wow, we shouldn't lose the anti-eco. Well, essentially it's not an anti-eco. I mean, they're fully invested there, but still definitely going to have to be something special to kick this one off, and that's exactly what's going to happen. USTILO taking off Allu's head with the scout and giving them an early advantage. And NiP going with something similar. They're moving up apartments again.
Yeah.
Now
they just want to get a big pit area down here. If they get that, they will probably win the round.
Great pop flash, that did the job, but the trade is going to come in from Xizt, and now they know exactly what's going on. USTILO is in a horrible position with the scout. His teammates, though, putting in the distraction that USTILO needs, picks up both kills with Rickeh's help there as well. So 4 players surviving. That's kind of a crazy result.
Yeah, that was a really awkward decision by NiP. I think they thought that by just walking all people A house, that Immunity will probably peek middle and go stack B, but Immunity just played defensively in the big pit, and there was nothing NiP could do.
And look at the weapons, they're really weird at the moment, because I mean, they still have the scout, they still got the big pop-up pump on James over at Banana. I have to see how that fares. That's a great nade there down onto the slope, though. Very well angled. Immunity playing a little bit aggressive here towards Car, just trying to slow down NiP, but that smoke, can't imagine that was supposed to go there.
And they're leaving James with a Nova alone at Car. This is really dangerous.
Wow, great shot onto Friberg as well, going to take him down. They didn't expect that. That's quite a risky position. That's not actually a move you see every day.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine if they would have gotten that kill and just smoked out CT spawn. They would have just gotten the B site.
All right, so NiP, they've got to save the round now. They've lost a man early. Allu and Xizt are pretty tagged from that grenade early in the round, and Immunity just with a very default setup. James ready with a pop flash, and SnypeR right at the back of the site. And then here it comes, the execute. James is flash, he goes down straight away. Good work there from NiP, getting themselves into the bomb site. SnypeR though, he's undetected at the moment. He just has to survive and get the damage done for his teammates for the retake. And it's going to be a 3-on-3 as the bomb is planted now. And NiP are looking pretty good on the site for their setup, but USTILO is right up there in their faces at the moment, coming up really fast from coils. They're trying to get an angle with that over that smoke with the scout, and they've got the 2-man stack towards the dark corner. Now, oldest trick in the book. Is it going to pay off? USTILO going to eliminate one player. Outpeaks Allu. He's got everything to do, but they're going to pick up the round. Great work from Immunity. 2 players surviving.
And it's going to be interesting to see if NiP decides to force buy. And I don't know what Immunity was doing there. I mean, sure, they won that retake, but the way they played on the B side, they had one guy aggressive in the pool, and one guy was playing like far back in the site, so they just got 1v1 duels.
And the cool thing now for Immunity is that they actually have 5 incendiaries, which is really, really crucial on this map,
yes.
and the 5 smokes to back it up. And as you said, you know, NiP, they kept getting the bomb down, so they're going to go for the Tech 9 armor. So another scary round for Immunity, but the Tech 9s look to be moving exactly as they were in the previous rounds.
And NiP actually bought, so they have like 1 to 2k left, and I don't actually think they will be able to buy, even if they lose this round. This is a really weird decision by them.
And they are playing it quite far back. There's a man up on the quad area. In comes the nade from USTILO. Great spray control there from Rickeh. Takes down Forest. Waiting on the angle. There comes number 2. Friberg hits the ground, but allu finally able to subvert that obstacle, as now it's a 4-on-3. And all the positioning is still there for Immunity. Can is still hold down the pit. He is the key player now for Immunity to just lock this down. Oh no, he goes down to get right. The bomb will be planted, and that's going to make life really hard here for James and SnypeR. Massive investment into this round. NiP are looking to put the pressure right back onto Immunity. Here we go. James and SnypeR moving their way in. Pistols coming out for SnypeR now. Tags allu low. James finishes him off. It's just get right through the smoke on pit. James, can he find him in time? He is so desperate right now to get this frag quickly. But what an excellent position there, just hiding in the smoke. And James could not find him. Has to go for it. It's done. Get right's done enough. Takes the kill. Wins the round.
And that was so close that he hit him through the smoke there. And like Get Right would have done it in 1 bullet.
Yeah, it's so close.
And that round was also so important because now NiP will probably get money control. We see a forced buy here from Immunity. They will try once again to take it back. Even have an op there on the Rickeh, but with 4-5-7s, this is not going to be easy.
So how is Rickeh supposed to use this AWP? I mean, this is quite a... It's always fun to see these buys, but it is you're definitely playing a very high-risk, high-reward game. Rickeh's going to give up the game in a sense. Going to basically show the AWP to NiP straight away and not get the kill with it. So that element of surprise is gone now, and they will position themselves with that AWP in mind.
Do get anti-frag though, and we see actually no one on B right now for Immunity. They're just rotating over to the A site, just leaving Rickeh alone with AWP on B.
So it's quite cool though. He's moving around a lot. That's always really good for an AWPer, but it's just Friberg at the moment up on Banana. And they're taking it so slowly. They know that Immunity has a kind of a weird buy, but with that AK picked up by USTILO, Immunity aren't looking too shabby at the moment. If only Rickeh can hold on. Oh, this is a nice pressure play into middle, trying to basically delay any rotation into B. Leave it all onto Rickeh with that AWP, but this trade after trade coming in right now as NiP are trying to just keep these players away from that B rotation, and Rickeh goes down straight away. That couldn't happen, but Immunity, they did well holding against the A push, and so they get the retake scenario, 3-on-2. Allu and Friberg.
And once again, no kits. There's 2v1 now.
And there you go, SnypeR going to pick up the last frag onto allu, and they will take the round.
I'm really surprised that Immunity just keeps winning these retakes on B. It's,
it's really...
Yeah,
cool, right?
They have like these really awkward openings in the round. Like we saw Rickeh like missing 2 shots there on B with the op, where like he should have for sure at least gotten 1 pick. And then they just somehow managed to scramble up a win.
It's definitely encouraging to see because this is the start that Immunity need to have, where they can get their confidence going, where they don't get in their heads like, oh, we can't win against these Europeans. They like got great aim and all this kind of stuff. But no, Immunity are showing actually great Inferno so far, and this is actually their strongest map, or their most confident map.
Yeah, and we see another buy here from NiP with the techs. Let's see if they try to do the same in mid push again.
Okay, so the smoke down on Arch to isolate any players playing there. But look at the setup here from Immunity. They've got 2 players in pit. This is actually a great setup against a play like this, and they are going to have to hit the shots now. That is all that's left to do. And in comes NiP with those Tech 9s. And it's going to be, well, I think Forrest cratered there, but 1-on-3. James has to go for the retake. Another awkward situation for Immunity, but everything is stacked against James here. he will
That
get
was
taken
so
down.
fast. Like it looked like Immunity was just gonna run away with that round, getting the 2 entry frags. But then one guy cratered, and then like 3 people died in the matter of like 5 seconds. And let's see if Immunity will force buy again. We haven't seen a single eco this game so far.
That's true. That's true.
They're actually gonna buy once again. Like nobody wants to give up the economy.
This is so interesting. Last time, it was the AWP on Rickeh, but this time it's a scout, so it's a bit of a downgrade. We have some deeks in play, and there's James. He's kind of the entry fragger for the team, looking for those flashy frags. We saw that big pop-up, and he's actually got a teammate above him, and both peeking from the car, trying to get the trade scenario, but it's not working out, and James has to fall back, giving up the position, giving up a frag, and also a lot of health on James. So this is awkward now for Immunity. So USTILO now just peeking out, always going to get barbecued. And we are going to have to see if James can do any damage here with the scout. I mean, there's no way he'll ever be able to hold a push like this, 4-on-1 with such low amount of health with just a scout. But if you can get some frags on the board, that would be nice. Get that economy damage in at the very least, but he doesn't get any damage done there. And imagine sitting in the smoke with the USP. So can't hope for much from this round. And NiP looks like they're going to finally start to establish some control in this match.
Yeah, we have to see an eco here from Immunity now. I mean, SnypeR will be able to save that AK, but I don't think that will matter too much. They have to buy and smoke, and they have to have 5 smokes and 5 mollos. It's so important as CT on this map, just as you stated earlier.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see whether Immunity are going to be able to bring themselves back into it when they do get that buy. Because we, like, in seeing the Fire Incendiary straight away, I mean, it's a huge investment. They have the money to do that, but that's obviously such a key thing on this map to just keep delaying the tease. But there's so many options as well. I'm actually curious to see what they will do with the banana control, because that's where you see the meta shift the most in Europe at the moment. Because I mean, we could go into all the different shifts that we see in the reactions upon reactions and how the meta's changed there. But I want to see how it is for Immunity, because of course, being from Oceania, they don't have the pool of teams and players. The meta is just different. So
yeah, the meta right now is actually like you usually throw 1 or 2, 3 smokes, aggressive banana, just like peek in them a little bit, and then you just want to fall back. You want to take the fights inside the B site in the tight choke. You actually just don't want to take the fights in banana, but you want to have the control with the smokes.
Now we're seeing it again. SnypeR this time is going to pick up a ridiculous frag into second mid with the AK. And, well, I mean, there isn't any armor on any of these pistoling players. This is kind of a straight-up eco so for everyone else. So it's going to be hard to see them really convert on this to maybe get a bigger advantage. But that's a good start for Immunity. And they're actually rotating everyone towards B at the moment, predicting that NiP are going to just basically say, hey, we're going to give up A, we just want to push B together and get more efficient trades.
And NiP is looking really unsure what they want to do right now. They really like this 2 people mid, 2 people banana kind of thing in the late stages of the round. 40 seconds left now.
They're going for the same play here. It's kind of that B split, but also they can really thin out the rotation players onto that B site retake. And Rick is in a good position there with that USP, but doesn't know which man to look at. And they are eliminating player after player. SnypeR coming in with 1, but that's it. All he's going to find. And USTILO, he doesn't even have access to a gun at this point, despite a bunch of players being dead. So we can expect him to die promptly.
He just wants to pick up a gun now. I don't think he has that much money. And it's really weird that NiP decides to go for a B split when they lose a player and they know the other team has an eco. It just doesn't feel like the most safe thing to do in that situation.
Could get like really easily overwhelmed, especially because they could consider. We actually saw it from them. They were trying to stack against them. They were pushing 4 players towards B. They wanted to try to get that overwhelming kind of push style going. But we're going to see their buy come in, and the lack of grenades is what really stands out here for me.
Yeah, I mean they have 4 smokes, but I don't know if that will be enough, and no Molotovs as well.
It's very interesting how SnypeR is so aggressive on the car position without any grenades to really cover him. We are going to see Rickeh with a flash over the top there, just trying to get some peeks onto that middle area as NiP are pressuring it. And NiP, they want to get rid of some of these grenades. They should know that Immunity are low on grenades, so that slow play is really going to hurt Immunity.
And SnypeR just playing that B site completely alone, and NiP doesn't seem to want to contend him in the banana, and Immunity is just happy with that. They're just going to play 4 people on A.
So, got the 2 men stacked there in the A bomb site, as Cadian is pointing out. Cadian, our dedicated observer for this event. Shoutouts to him.
They should put one more guy in the big pits, or will they? Maybe they're actually trying to rotate back to B now. The bomb is actually down in that Vietnam area, and I think it might go back B. It doesn't even look like NiP knows what they want to do right now.
Okay, this is something I see from Garrett quite a lot. He likes to try to take pit by himself. If he's successful in taking pit, or this area, it can do so much damage, but he goes down immediately. This is going to give Immunity an actual chance to have a strong retake. James needs to get at least 2 frags on the board here. As they're pushing in, sprays down the first man, goes for the second. James gets 2 kills, and that might just be enough. It leaves just Forest and Xizt left for NiP to get the bomb down straight away. The time had almost run out, but here we go. Rickeh now up in construction, moving with his team. All 4 together, it would seem, charging through the cores area now as Xizt and Forest playing that old heat and potty setup. And this is why it's good. You get those trays, but they don't have the men. And it's going to be the round for Immunity. Good stuff. And they managed to take that buy round. They're making this look really, really competitive at the moment.
Yeah, that was a really nice try by NiP, though. They tried the classic fake when it's 20 seconds left, because the Sieges will be in the mindset of, oh, it's only 20 seconds left. Sure, they won't fake. They don't have time to rotate to the other side. And we saw it was like 2 seconds left on the clock when they planted the bomb, and was probably the reason why Immunity only had James at the B site. But James managing to get 2 frags won them that round, basically.
And they've shown... oh, hang on. They got a mid-push going on here as well. They got a man push to bench. It's actually Rickeh's over by bench. Now he's going to... oh, Get Right takes him down straight away. Got the peek. Got the frag. And that's that aggressive play, that gamble from Immunity blown up. And that's it. It's high risk, but very high reward. And I love that they're making plays like that.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're not afraid of NiP. That might have been too much. I don't know where he was supposed to go if we got him that first initial pick.
Yeah,
like, there's nowhere he
What's the
can
backup
escape.
plan?
So there's probably going to be just a 1-for-1 trade at the best. So I don't know.
Oh, wow, James! This guy takes down 2 players, and I was just about to say, they leave so much responsibility in his hands on that B bomb site, and now SnypeR's going to come in. He's going to lose his duel against Xizt. That was very important, and now Immunity are going on into the retake with a man disadvantage. That's not ideal, to say the least. But they're going to go straight in here, straight through the smoke, straight into the grenades, and straight into the AK spray of Forest, and that's a round for NiP. But, yeah. It's all about that risk at the start.
Yeah, exactly. And also James, I mean, he did a great job getting those 2 picks, but he really shouldn't have picked for the 3rd guy, because there was no one on site. As soon as they got him, NiP could just do the classic, just smoke up spawn and run up site, and there was no one who could stop them.
Okay, so, I mean, back to the eco again, and NiP getting the better of this, and they're going to go for that mid push. And this is awesome, actually. Again, that aggression from the Aussies is fantastic to see. And Rickeh going to come in from the back. Oh no, please get a kill! No! Oh no, that's embarrassing. That's a disaster. That should have been a kill.
He probably didn't know that he had 1 HP though.
Yeah, true. He looked a little bit flustered there. In the chaos. Okay, so far no frags here from Immunity, but Imagine could peek out and get something sneaky, potentially. He's got a P250. There it is, Forest. He's at the range for the 1-shot kill, but it's not going to happen. 7-5. And hey, I mean, Immunity...
They have to probably eco again. That's the thing. Like SnypeR 3000, Imagine 3700.
Oh, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, maybe they have to go for it, but it's going to be so hard. They might want to take a risk here, like stacking 4 guy on A or 3 on B, and just save their guns if they push the other side.
It feels like some of the decisions they made earlier in the game kind of committed them to buy here, because it would have been great to see Rickeh on that AWP. Obviously, that's going to be very important for them, but they haven't been able to get it going with the economy. James, he is so brave at just taking these open aim duels against these Swedes, and this time it's not worked out for them.
2 HP though.
It was close. It was close, and he does seem almost to be a bit like kind of like the Friberg of the team. It seems to be the kind of roles that they're giving him on Inferno at least, and he's been doing it justice so far. But But Friberg actually gets a little bit more support from Get Right, I think, with some of the nades on these banana plays. James he's been very exposed.
Yeah, he's just playing that all alone. And we see a very passive play here for an NiP. Looks like they're going for the A push. I think it's Friberg who's pushing up banana. Just want to make sure that nobody is pushing out for immunity to gain some information. Yeah, we see him running back banana now. We're gonna see the A push here end second.
So it is actually Get Right. He's in the apartments looking to jump out into the pit position. So that one-on-one he's going to have against, I believe USTILO, is going to be very, very important. Pit control is so important in this situation. They've completely smoked it off. They are wrapping onto the bomb site, and they are taking no prisoners. It's just going to be Friberg down. He already had 2 health, so USTILO is still in the pit area. They haven't cleaned it out, and maybe the communication's not quite there. USTILO gets a second kill as well. Nate comes out, and he's going to give SnypeR a chance. 2 on 2 now with that pit position. In go the nades. Oh, he's just started shooting at SnypeR then. That was the moment that Xizt took him down. In comes SnypeR. He goes down as well, and it's going to be 8-5. NiP looking to take quite a dominant lead now.
Yeah, and they just played that perfectly. They took banana control, got a frag in banana, knew that they had to play only 3 guys on A, which means that they're probably only going to have 1 guy towards Arch, and they just smoked short, pushed Arch to get behind them, and it just looked very easy for NiP.
Alright, so Immunity, what are they going to pull out of the back here? They've got 2 grenades, so I imagine they've got some kind of nade timing in mind with the HEs. They haven't thrown them just yet, though, and they are pushing second mid in the apartments. And still holding on to those grenades. NiP slowly taking player by player, and they've taken over the B-bomb site. So they've completely circumvented the push from Immunity. And Immunity going to have to try to get some damage done on the exits. Maybe bring some AKs into the next round, potentially. Would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, they're just looking for picks here. Nothing they can do. And yeah, NiP with 8 rounds already, might make it 9, or they're gonna make it 9, might make it 10. This is gonna be really rough for Immunity. They need to have a real good C-side to come back from this.
It feels kind of, it feels like they... I would have liked to have seen how they would have played if they dialed down the risk-taking a little bit in some of the positions when they had their buys, because we've seen, like, we haven't seen it be the case that they absolutely need to take aggressive risks against NiP. They've been winning a lot of these duels, and we've even seen situations where multiple players on Immunity can get like 1v2s, 1v3s. That's actually happened for them, so that's an interesting thing from them. But they are going to go into the last round with the AWP on Rickeh now, and this is something that is important for them. He's very strong as an AWP player. He's been demolishing in practice, as Immunity have been here for a few days practicing. And here he is on mid now.
Yeah, classic glass cannon AWP, no armor.
And NiP have been given the apartments again. Immunity playing a very passive A defense. And they have a little bit of information on banana. They are looking to actually get potentially more information. They haven't rotated anyone back yet. Rickeh in with the first shot. It's going to miss. He might get caught out of position. He will. And Friberg takes advantage of the lack of armor. And imagine, this is an awkward position if ever I've seen one. Going to be able to put the spray in, but can't get the kill. And Xizt going to plant the bomb there for NiP. And then Immunity, what can they do here? They've got 2 versus 5 retake. SnypeR takes 1 frag, but James has too many locations to look to. And SnypeR doesn't look like there's much he can do here. He does take down Xizt, but 3 more players to find. And allu will finish him off 10-5 first half, with NiP looking quite confident.
Yeah, and we actually saw Immunity in the last 3 rounds having 2 guys in banana. Even though they had banana control, they just left 2 guys there, and that's because NiP is just so smart in how they string the rounds together. They begin with like doing those late banana takes, which makes them like Immunity so scared of those late banana takes,
like
which makes them,
yeah,
exactly, and that means they will probably leave 2 guys in banana in the later stages of the game, which means NiP can just push A all 5 people. They don't even have to care about banana because Immunity don't know if they're going to do the same round again.
Right, yeah, that's a really, really good point. And, well, conditioning your opponent, very, very high-level stuff there from NiP. And we're going to see the pistol commence. So, Immunity, what have they got? They need this pistol round. They need a good start to this second half. And they won the first pistol, so be interesting to see what kind of rounds we would see from them with all the money, what kind of executes they have. I know that they have a lot of executes.
And we see a smoke and flash on SnypeR. let's see if they do the classic car smoke on A. Try to go out A apps. It might look like they're going to do that. It's probably one of the best decisions you can do, and we can see our observer pointing out that there's 3 people on B now, and they're actually playing really deep on B. And I like this by NiP. They're leading 10-5. They can take these risks now.
And it looks like it's going to be the retake play from them. That very standard pistol retake strategy exists. Just trying to get a quick head popped by the USP, but he's going to get flanked. Doesn't die though. SnypeR, oh no, SnypeR is going to get caught by Get Right on the rotate, and now here comes NiP in full swing, looking to get the damage done. But that bomb is ticking away. There is a kit on Friberg, however. Friberg is going to take down James, but that bomb is getting further and further ticked at this point. It could explode very, very soon right now, unless they're really fast on this push, and they are just completely barreling him down. Rickeh going to run out of ammunition, and Get Right, he has picked up the kit off Friberg, and he has just enough time to defuse the bomb.
And there's no way they should lose that round. I mean, they had the bomb site. I think they had a 4v3 with the bomb down, and the NiP players was deep into B when that push came in. It's like 15-20 seconds rotation time. So, yeah, we can see him actually showing us how long it takes. 15 seconds. I was exactly right.
Well, look at you. We got immunity now. They did get the bomb down, so they could have decided to go for a surprise buy here, but they are just going to go with a pretty straight up eco, got a couple grenades and SnypeR, but they are going to get completely destroyed. NiP not even just waiting to receive a push, they're just going to go and end it straight away. And here's the AK buyout from Immunity. What do you think would be a nice approach from them in this round?
Well, they're down so much, so they just have to find a standard way of playing and just get the kills. I mean, they can't do those all-in proper smokes rounds all the time now, because NiP will figure them out. So they just have to be able to win the aim duels, which is going to be really hard, especially considering they're down 5-12.
Indeed. 3 players on Banana here for NiP, so again, they have that early 3-player timing to help ward against any fast takes from an entire team, get some good trades going. James is going to try to challenge, but this is again how the meta's developed in Europe, and the meta's kind of ahead of what Immunity were trying to do there. Need more players, but they are going to try to push up A as very quickly as a really nice response, and it's kind of working out so far, but they need more position right now as that pesky Windows key gets pressed, and we are going to load back into this one. We see Forrest able to defend with 2 quick kills on the MP7. 2 on 4 now, AK and Galil in the hands of Immunity, and this is one of the only rounds that they could ever hope to outgun NiP with those AKs against the SMGs, but it's not going to happen. Immunity will lose that one, and NiP 3 rounds away from winning the first map.
And about the thing you said about the meta in Europe, with having 3 guys towards B in the beginning, you should have 2 guys going out. You have 1 guy throwing the first smoke, standing a bit back in city spawn, just being ready to help if they make that banana push, as the terrorists will do it. I would just like to see a team just straight up YOLO away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some teams catch on to that because it is a counter strat, right? It's
yeah,
a counter
exactly.
strat. Because some teams have I've noticed, especially the French teams, especially Envy and Titan, at least a couple of weeks ago when I was watching, they have a lot of rounds where they play 3 on B. There are a few other teams that do it quite a lot as well. I think it's... I can come back to this later, but the whole point is that there are some teams that do it more often as a standard round, and if you can catch them with it, it's a gamble. It's always going to be a gamble, but if you just do the fast push on A, you're like 5 versus 2. And it's like you just kill those 2 players straight away, and it's a really hard retake for them. So
it's risky though. If they have 3 people there, it's going to be really tough. But I agree with you. They should try it at least.
You need those gambles to go your way. He's really brave enough to take them, just like Friberg down Banana. He is almost mad at them now, just taking back the Banana area, spraying him down. It's going quite well for him so far. Able to efficiently trade against Immunity, leaving them just with 2 players against 4, and Get Right's doing the cleanup. There it is, 15-5. NiP now on map points.
Yeah, super simple stuff from NiP. Just throwing the standard nades out Banana and just completely out-aiming Immunity right now. Immunity is probably already thinking about the next match.
Okay, well, let's see what they can do now. They do have a bunch of AKs, so with AKs there's hope. Now, Xizt can be just flashing over. spots the first pass, a great flash, and that's going to be a free kill onto USTILO. He was kind of exposed, trying to get into second mid there, and NiP got so much map control at the moment. They're peeking down middle. Friberg's left all the way deep on Banana. That's allowing Get Right to rotate back towards A, and Immunity now can't go B, they can't go A. The smokes are down. What do? They've just got to wait.
Yeah, they're in a really awkward position. I think they just should wait. Even if they throw a second smoking banana, there's 1 minute left. They really should go towards B. But it looks like they're going towards A. Get Right is actually rotating back, so this might actually work out for Immunity.
So they are going to try to make the A play. Jumping through the smoke there, Rickeh, the first man. And allu, very, very sneaky angle this one. It's not one you'd expect, necessarily. Now, can he catch a player? He's slowly edging out. Get Right is going to be able to come in as they're shooting towards allu. There it is, but Rickeh turns just in the nick of time to take him down. But look at the excellent team play coming in from NiP. That flash was perfect for allu. Imagine able to make the trade onto Forest, but that's going to be at 16-5. It looked really promising at the start. We had a really respectable opening from Immunity, but maybe just a few too many risks. Otherwise, we could have potentially seen like an 8-7 or something on the first half.
Yeah, I don't like the risk they took with like leaving one guy banana alone, but I like the risk where they like try to bot every single round because they have to get them under control as CT. They can't let NiP get up to like after they get 6 or 7 rounds, it's basically over. So I think how many rounds was in a row? Like 7 forced buys?
Yeah, pretty much. It was brutal.
Yeah,
it was pretty brutal, but Immunity, it was definitely very close in those rounds, and we saw again a respectable showing when it came to the execution. So I think we did see a little bit of a lag on the meta in Australia, but that's to be expected. I mean, it is a completely different region, and they don't have the pool of teams that Europe does. Europe has so many teams that it kind of evolves a bit quicker, so many tournaments. So yeah, I mean that's an exciting match to kick things off with. We do have a Dust 2. Sorry, we have the second half coming out soon. No, sorry, Dust 2 coming up soon.
Second map.
Early, guys. Second map. I got this. But going to hand it back to James now and get Thorin's thoughts as well.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thorin, you were in there with me in the other
Not
room
in the camera
watching.
shot, but I am here, I assure you guys.
He is here.
Shout out to the
Here he
production guys. On top of everything there.
Don't
Much
be
like
mean.
DDK in the second half. So yeah, what you saying? What you saying? Yeah.
Right. Inferno.
Yep.
How did you find that? It was what you expected, really. You didn't
Yeah.
expect them to really bring it to NiP, but did they do a little bit better than you were expecting?
I mean, they started off 3-1. They had it going there. They were on CT side. Maybe they could have run it up a bit more. The problem was, just from the way the NiP was playing, I didn't feel like NiP really respected them. Not on like a disrespect, like they think they're trash or whatever. No, just the way they were playing, NiP didn't feel like they had to do everything totally perfectly and do set strats at the beginning. Looking at NiP was playing a bit free for all, and it worked. It got them back in the game, and then NiP got better and better and better, and Immunity had their issues. The problem here is, I mean, I don't have the pick bands in front of me, but I think that was Immunity's map pick, and so yeah, it's going to be hard to see how they can win it in this particular series. I think their chance is going to be better later in the group if they play something like Liquid. Maybe then they have a shot.
Potentially. So Dust 2 coming up next. You don't really.
Dust 2.
What can they do
Yeah.
if they were going to beat NiP? If they were going to cause an
Well,
upset now on Dust 2, what would they
Here's
have
the thing,
to do?
Dust 2 is the map to do upsets on. Historically, actually, just the layout of the map throughout the history of CS, it is the map that you can play the most free-for-all style. You can just make things up on the fly. You don't have to have super set strats. If you have a good AWPer, I'm not sure what Immunity's lineup's like, a good AWPer can get rolling on CT side, you can take the enemy down, and then before they even get into the sites, you kind of break them a bit there. So it is the classic map for upset. I mean, think about earlier in the year, we saw at the beginning of the year, MLG, we had that CLG lineup, the North American team, that was their first LAN, but they managed to beat LDLC, who at the time were the best team in the world on Dust 2. So I think the map itself plays into it a bit. So I'd say if they have an AWPer, he has to really have a dominant game now. And this map's all about getting lots of CT rounds.
Okay, and if it does go to cash,
Yeah.
if it does, is that going to worry either of those? Is it going to worry NiP at all?
The problem is, I think Cash is one of NiP's best maps. It might even be their best map. Like when I think
Yeah.
of recent tournaments, how good they've been on it. They've beaten Envy on it. They've beaten Fnatic on it. I think for me, it's their best map. I'm surprised they don't pick it more. So I think it's going to be hard for me to get there. If they do, I still see NiP winning.
So NiP, they've had relatively an easy start here. If they do, obviously Immunity are going to want to win Dust 2 because obviously they'll be they'll have lost the whole.
Winning's good.
Winning
I
is
agree,
always
yeah.
good, but they're going to have a problem on cash. You think?
I think so,
NiP
certainly.
though going forward, they're gonna be feeling confident, but they've still got Fnatic and everyone coming up.
Yeah, I
later
think.
on
I
in
mean,
this group.
yeah, no disrespect to Immunity, but I think if you're NiP, you assume you're going to win this game anyway. You're going to play it out. It's not like you're going to just do nothing, but you're just going to kind of use it as a warm-up game, get going in the morning, like get things down, like just try and error correct, not in terms of this specific game, but just in terms of having your overall game going. And then, because you know at some point you might have to play Fnatic, very likely in this group. And Fnatic's not only a higher ranked team than you, but a key rival of yours.
Yeah.
And they just beat you at that CCS tournament, so you definitely want to beat them this time. You don't just want to like go through the group like, oh, well, we made it out the group, that's all that matters. If you're in a group with Fnatic and you're NiP, you want to beat them as well, to send a message for later in the tournament maybe.
I want to bring it over to you guys as well. Having watched that match and commentated on the match, how did you guys feel Immunity did?
Well, I thought they were going to get a lot of more rounds in the beginning. I mean, they were up 3-1. But as soon as NiP got that money control, they had, as we talked about earlier, there was like 7 forced buy rounds. As soon as NiP got the money control, the match just rolled away for NiP. I mean, they lost like 1 more round after that.
Yeah, they did seem like I was out there watching them as well. They did seem like they were having fun. They were kind of laughing about. Do you think we're going to see a very similar thing in Dust 2, Dan?
As Thorin said, Dust 2 is Dust 2, and the nature of it for a long time has been that it can be one of the maps to make the upsets on. I mean, we did see pretty decent execution across the board from Immunity. They can frag. These guys have like good execution, and they weren't afraid to take Angels against NiP, which is really important. Like Dust 2 comes down to a lot of these Angels and taking the risks for these entries. And one thing that we didn't really see all that much of was their T side, obviously, and that's crucially important. How you can try to like get frags on the T side, and that applies so much to Dust 2. But also the AWPing from Rickeh, because we know that the AWPing from NiP is pretty damn good and quite consistent, especially on a map like Dust 2, because you've got allu and Forest. Like Forest is so good at just holding down defensively, let's say the crossover area on A. You can always rely on him for that. Allu, of course, an amazing AWPer. So they have a lot to play with there. And we're seeing a lot of double AWP play on CT and T side. I think I've seen quite a few matches with NiP and Fnatic where they're both just double AWPing on both halves against each other. So for me, it's whether they can keep up in that regard. And I'm not sure if they can.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the biggest chance of Immunity actually winning this game is NiP getting too confident and not having enough ecos to buy those double ops. I've seen a lot of games where NiP is just being way too confident, like buying C-Seds, buying mags even, like on CT on Dust 2, and the terrorists can just force long distance duels, and there's like, you really need those ops as CT on Dust 2.
So yes, SnypeR and Rickeh versus allu and Forest is
that is going to be what we're going to see
tagline for me
on Dust 2. Okay, cool. Before this first map, Thorin, you said the best way we can judge Immunity in this game is comparing them to Vox.
Yeah.
How do you feel like they did compared to what we would see from a Vox lineup in this situation?
So far, not too dissimilar from what we'd expect from Vox. I mean, the best result so far by an Australian team, I would say, was probably going to the offline qualifier for Katowice, where they managed to beat like Dignitas, etc. So they meet some of the sort of tier 3 teams in Europe, and so at the moment it's going to be hard facing against a team like NiP or Fnatic. These are tier 1 level teams, some of the best teams in the world. I'd say the bigger test for me is I want to see later on, like if they could upset someone like Liquid, well then that's above and beyond maybe what Vox has done already, or maybe a similar sort of level, so that would be the game I think is going to be the better test. But like I say, if they could even take a map, that would be a huge result for the region and for the history of these teams.
You think that Team Liquid watching these games now backstage, they'll be trying to focus on Fnatic and NiP. Do you think that in that case they might not be watching enough of Immunity and they could possibly have the upset that Thorin's talking about there?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like their first game is versus Fnatic, so they really should focus on that. But there's a pretty high possibility they might not win that game, and then they have to play or it's not for sure that they're going to play Immunity, but probably Immunity. And I don't know. I think they actually might be a bit scared now because Immunity is showing some pretty decent Counter-Strike at least.
Yeah, do you feel the same way, Dan?
So the thing that I think is dangerous for Immunity, and I think that could be quite common knowledge, is the fact that in the Oceanic region, the map pool is weird compared to everywhere else.
Okay.
Like, for example, they just play different maps, and they don't play as much of the newer maps as we would here, just because we have so many competitions on the Europasses, all this kind of stuff. So I feel like it's much harder for Immunity to kind of traverse the map pool, and that's where Liquid could find quite a good advantage against them in how they do the veto process. Because we saw there that immunities, that their Inferno was great. It was potentially great. Like, I think with some small tweaks there, they could have had a much better CT half, and you never know what could have happened there. Of course, you would always expect NiP to win, but still, it was respectable. And on Dust 2, you would expect, I think, something similar. But when we're getting into the territory of overpass cobble, what happens then? I mean, there's not a lot of data for that, so that's where I'd be worried.
Do you feel like the NA teams, do they play the newer maps as well, or are they going to have that issue? Like,
I think
Liquid and Immunity in the same pool, like, boat there?
I think they'll be a little bit more prepared. I think they'll be a bit more comfortable with it. But that said, Immunity, from what I've seen on their overpass, it isn't bad at all. But is it up to par? I mean, the fact is they haven't got to play some of these maps as much as everyone else.
Yeah, we have to remember the veto system as well. You can force overpass and cobble because Immunity can only veto one, and if they veto cobble, they can pick overpass, and the same way around.
So I think it's going to be down to the vetoes quite a lot here.
Cool. So the